Kalifix Installation System. The Kalifix sign system is an outdoor signage system for installing signposts perfectly suited to your applications. The Kalifix system is built better for outstanding durability. Its exclusive breakaway system generally makes it possible to limit damage to the shear pin, which is designed to break safely. 2 rods inserted into the pin fasten the post to the anchor. This means that the post can be straightened immediately, pending repair. Before beginning the installation, you need to obtain written authorization. Make sure that there are no underground cables or ducts where the Kalifix anchors are to be installed, such as gas, telephone, electricity, or other lines. Only a minimum of equipment is needed to install the Kalifix system, such as a percussion hammer, impact screwdriver, percussion drill, bench, and safety equipment, as well as materials. Refer to the installation manual for the complete list. The Kalifix structure can be installed in 3 types of soil: concrete, asphalt, and soil. Follow the procedure for the given type of installation. For concrete, drill a 2.5-inch hole through the concrete slab. Remove material to a minimum depth of 12 inches. Place a piece of geotextile at the bottom of the hole to prevent grout loss. Then set the Kalifix concrete anchor vertically in the hole with concrete or chemical grout, depending on the temperature or required set time. Make sure that the concrete anchor is positioned properly for the particular installation. For a post, the long axis of the ellipse should be perpendicular to sign panel that will be installed on the post. Delineator. The long axis of the ellipse should be parallel to the road. Let the grout harden according to the manufacturer's recommendations. For asphalt, drill a 9/16 hole through the pavement. Use the Kalifix sounding hammer to a suitable depth to detect obstacles such as rocks and roots that could jeopardize installation of the Kalifix anchor. Determine the appropriate length for the Kalifix anchor based on soil consistency. Firm soil, 24 inches. Loose soil, 36 inches. Very loose soil, 48 inches. Relocate the Kalifix anchor if you encounter an obstruction. Drill a 2.5-inch hole through the pavement. Remove material to a minimum depth of 12 inches. Use the Kalifix asphalt starter to cut a 1-inch deep hole as a pilot for inserting the Kalifix anchor. Make the cuts based on installation type. Use a Cobra MK1 or equivalent percussion hammer to insert the Kalifix anchor vertically to a depth of 8 inches. Add dry sand around the Kalifix anchor and continue driving the anchor in, checking it for plumb every 6 inches. The sand will settle in around the anchor as it is driven in. Add more sand as required. Drive the Kalifix anchor in until it is flush with the ground surface. Sweep excess sand off the pavement surface and around the Kalifix anchor to a depth of 1/4 inch. Use a hammer to level the pavement around the Kalifix anchor. Apply a pavement sealant around the Kalifix anchor and other holes, and in the 4 holes in the Kalifix anchor between the walls of the square and elliptical tubes. Let the sealant harden according to the manufacturer's recommendations. For soil, grass, and sand, use the Kalifix sounding hammer to a suitable depth to detect obstacles such as rocks and roots that could jeopardize installation of the Kalifix anchor. Determine the appropriate length for the Kalifix anchor based on soil consistency. Firm soil, 36 inches. Loose soil, 48 inches. Relocate the Kalifix anchor if you encounter an obstruction. Use a Cobra MK1 or equivalent percussion hammer to insert the Kalifix anchor vertically to a depth of 8 inches. Add dry sand around the anchor and continue driving the anchor in, checking it for plumb every 6 inches. The sand will settle in around the anchor as it is driven in. Add more sand as required. Drive the anchor in until it is flush with the ground surface. Sweep away excess sand. If necessary, install the panel perpendicular to the long axis of the ellipse. Slide the brackets into the bar, then slide the post into the brackets and place the panel at the desired height. Adjust the panel to the desired angle and tighten the bolts. Insert the Kalifix pin into the Kalifix anchor. Use a hammer to drive the two locking pins down to lock the Kalifix pin in the Kalifix anchor. Caution: the locking pins should be driven in half an inch with respect to the holder block. Position the Kalifix post on the Kalifix pin and line up the holes in the bottom of the post with the slot in the pin. Check how the sign panel or panels line up with the road. Adjust the panel if necessary. Screw the two stainless steel bolts at the bottom of the Kalifix post into the Kalifix pin. Do not drive them in with a hammer. Check the quality of the completed work, such as compliance of the sign message. A sign error can result in serious consequences. Clean up the surroundings. A sheared pin can be repaired as shown. Bend, then straighten the post to release the post and pin from the anchor. Remove the post from the anchor and unscrew the bolts with an impact screwdriver. Remove the pin from the post. Reinstall the new pin in the anchor, making sure that the locking pins are driven in completely. Position the post on the pin and screw the two bolts into the pin. Do not reuse the old bolts because aluminum residue in the threads could make them harder to install. An intact pin can be removed with a pin puller. Place the pin puller on the pin and drive it in. Remove the pin. Insert the anchor plug into the hole in the anchor. Drive it in somewhat and then tighten the bolt down. Should you need added information, please feel free to contact us at any time.